Welcome in everyone to another edition of the Sick Podcast, Recruits Draftcast. This is our usual Sunday Habs Prospect of the Week show, and we're going to feature more than one because there's a few that deserve the recognition. We're also obviously going to talk about Ivan Demidov because why not? I mean, there's there's a whole lot happening there, and the viewers want us to talk about him, so we'll gladly oblige. So with that being said, let's get into it.
Turn up your volume. Because you're about to listen to the Sick Podcast. Recruits Draftcast.
With our first pick in the 2022 NHL Draft, les Canadiens de Montréal sont fiers de repêcher from the Slovakian national team and TPS Turku, Yuri Slafkovsky.
The sickest NHL draft and scouting podcast. It's gonna be sick.
Sick indeed. Producer Shane here, the man by my side. You know him, you love him. It's Grant McCagg. Grant, how are we feeling today?
I don't know about that, but hey, we went to the game last night in Ottawa.
That's right.
Wasn't a thrilling game. The Canadiens didn't dress their big guns, so 0 for 30 on the power play in the preseason. I don't know if Montreal's new power play coach has quite got it all figured out yet, but he will. And I mean
we haven't really seen the first unit, right, in preseason.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Yes. So hopefully they've been practicing. They're just waiting. It's going to be their secret weapon. Reveal it on opening night and 4 goals and just go from there.
Exactly. That's it. I'm not freaking out too much. I mean, yesterday's power play was what Anderson, Gallagher, Dvorak.
Kapanen was quarterback, which I thought was, a very good sign that, hey, he's starting the season with Montreal because they've given him. They gave him good offensive line mates and, let him quarterback the power play kind of from the wall over there. I think the plan is to have him on the second power play. With Laine out now, the second, who you wonder who's going to be on the second power play. But I think Kapanen's going to be there, and he may even start the year with Doc and Newhook on the second line, which we haven't really seen Newhook and Kapanen get chemistry yet. But the only thing, and then you notice it when you're watching live, is Kapanen maybe needs to get a little faster yet. But he's 21 years old, and
that's fine. Yeah,
his skating will keep improving. It has improved the last 2 years, but his vision, I love how he reads the play. Where he goes without the puck, he's just very highly, highly intelligent, and that gets you so far in the NHL. It's such an important part of being a good NHLer. If you have a special trait, that always bodes well for you succeeding in the NHL. And for me, his special trait, in addition to having really good hands and skill, is just IQ. It's really high. So very impressed with him. I thought he got better as the game went along. I would feature him again as a prospect of the week, but we did last week. So but I figured I should mention him. Oh, and Charles Sandoin had a chat with me last night and informed me that he's going to give me accreditation to go to whenever the Habs are in Ottawa to play. It's not far for me to go, and also whenever I come down to Montreal and want to take in a Habs game from here on in, I can sit in the press box. So that was great news, and I really appreciate that from the Canadiens.
Absolutely. Charles and Chantal, I've had a chance to interact with them a bit as well, and they are A1 fantastic people.
Oh, for sure.
Love them. But I like that you mentioned, Kapanen and all that, because I think he's got to be a lock for opening night. I think he's going to play out the 9 games, and then we'll see after
So?
that. But the way he's playing, look, he's the leading scorer for the Habs in preseason. That's undeniable. Like the points don't lie. So he has been great. Really, really great. I'm excited to see more of him. And, for that battle on the second line, I think it's between him and Armia right now. Joshua Roy has not done enough, in my opinion. He's not looked terrible like some people are saying, but I don't think he's outplayed either Kapanen or Armia. And then what do you do with Heineman, right? There's still some questions to be answered here before Wednesday's game against Toronto, eh?
Well, I didn't see enough from Anderson, certainly, to warrant him being on the second. No. He looks like he's just, I don't know, like, last night it didn't look like he would have scored. He could have played 200 minutes and wouldn't score. Just get that feeling that guy, just his confidence just doesn't seem to be there anymore. And he wasn't skating and the power horse that
right.
We're not seeing it. Armia, he didn't play. How many preseason games did Armia play? Like not too many, eh? Like
2 or 3, maybe
2 or 3.
Something like that. I don't know that he did anything like. He doesn't look like he did at the end of last season yet. Mm-hmm. So kind of a bit of a slow start for him again, like last year, I think. So it might be Kapanen that gets gets the look with those guys. I hope so. I mean, why not? Yeah.
Give the young guy a good trial. Obviously, the coaches are impressed with him. To stick him out on the first power play last night and kind of let him be kind of running things. They wanted to see what, if he's got the top 6 potential to start the season. I think that was a good sign that they're highly considering him. And just like when Gorton, that interview with the eye test when
first name he brought up.
First name came out of his mouth, and then after you think kind of, oop, geez, should I have done that? I'm letting the cat out of the bag here a bit, so he tempered her back a bit, as he always does. But I think that was telling too, that was the first name that came to mind for him. So I think he's made the team to start the year, and you know how much I love him, and I hope he's here for the year.
Yeah.
Owen Beck had a goal and assist last night too.
Played very well.
Which
very
nice.
well in Laval's last preseason game. They only played 2. They only played 2, which honestly I don't mind. I think that's fine. And I want to give a few words to Gabriel Bourque, captain of the Laval Rocket, who announced his retirement. Happy retirement, captain. Well done. And I thought, he wore that jersey proudly and very well. So well-deserved retirement for him. Congratulations on that.
Have they named a captain?
Not that I know of.
No, I don't think so.
Not that I know of. I think Xavier Simoneau wore the C yesterday in the preseason game. But again, Logan Mayu wore the C at the rookie tournament. So it's
sorry, who'd you say?
Xavier Simoneau. He's like the
Xavier Simoneau. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Now I know who you mean. Yeah. You say it so quick, I didn't even and with a bit of a French accent there, I'd say. You're the man when it comes to French accent. Goulet didn't look too bad, hit right off the bat. Kaboom. I'm back, baby.
That was fantastic. I loved this game yesterday.
Yeah.
Loved him. Yeah.
And William Trudeau, every time I watch him, man, he's just so smart and steady. It's too bad that the Canadiens are so loaded on defense, because he just does not make a lot of mistakes. He's going to be a rock for Laval this year. I love the kid, just his smarts and poise. And Engstrom with the puck, he's just you really have to love. He looks decent on the power play. It's too bad that they went 0 for 30 in the preseason, but he moves the puck pretty nicely on the power play too, and shields the puck well. He was another guy that kind of again impressed me. He's not that far away, really. I don't think either. They're just so loaded on defense. Mayu with the Rocket, nice to see that from him because we know it's there. I
Yeah.
thought he was steady defensively in the preseason, not a lot of mistakes. And that's been the knock on him, right? His defensive game has just kept getting better and better. So a lot of, even though they didn't, they ended the preseason with a few losses there, a lot of the young players stepped up and showed things that hold promise for the future. And I thought it was, that's what it's all about, really. Preseason, it's getting ready for the regular season, having young guys, rookies show up and show that they're not far off. And I think that's the case with several of them.
Absolutely. No, this has been it's been a tumultuous training camp and preseason, to say the least, but there are some positives to come out of it. And I think the biggest one is Oliver Kapanen. You and I are familiar with him, but I think Habs fans are starting to appreciate this player, and I think they're going to love him for a while. Now, unlike Oliver Kapanen, who was rewarded or should be rewarded for his good play, we'll transition to someone who isn't as lucky. Okay, 5th overall pick in the 2024 draft class, Ivan Demidov is stuck in the KHL with SKA, whatever you want to say it. And we talked about this last show, right? Last game, he played a total of 4 minutes on the 4th line. Didn't see a shift in the 3rd. And then this most recent game, Rottenberg just stepped it up one more notch. 13th forward, did not play. Guess what? SKA lost. Didn't they get shut out too? Huh. Strange. Anyways,
not shut
Rottenberg
out,
was Rottenberg was asked about Demidov's ice time or lack thereof, and this is what he had to say. Now, for the people watching us on YouTube,
I think this was 2 games ago, but it applies.
Still very relevant. Still very relevant. Anyways, for the people watching on YouTube, you're able to read, but for those of you listening in, and if you didn't know, you can listen to us, okay? Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all the above. But this is what the question asked, all right? A reporter asked Rottenberg, your rising star Ivan Demidov played today as the 13th forward, only 6 shifts, and didn't come out at all in the 3rd period. Why so little? Now, Rottenberg answered with, a very strong opponent. It was a close game, especially since everyone knows how well Dynamo plays on counterattacks. They are a very strong team, and any mistake, any lost duel or tackle can lead to a difficult situation at our goal. And if we want to cement our defense, then everyone must fulfill the game assignment. And it doesn't matter what someone's last name is. We need to play for the team. I am sure that Ivan is developing. He plays a lot with us. Okay. He trains with great players, with masters. Many of whom played in the NHL.
I don't know if he said it like that, but yeah.
They played hundreds of matches. They won the Stanley Cup. There are guys with Gagarin cups. They won Olympic gold. So he has a lot to learn. Grant, I don't know where to start with this thing.
Gagarin. That's a good, made me gag when I, your Russian pronunciation isn't quite as good as your French, but
the one Russian word I know is
Gagarin, but I'd say Gagarin is a better way of pronouncing it. Maybe just keep that up because I want to sort of break it down, dissect it a little bit.
Analyze this thing.
Yikes! Now, okay. First of all, any mistake, any lost duel or tackle. Now, granted,
football.
Demidov isn't very good at tackling. I'll give him. I'll give Rottenberg that. He's I don't think the Tennessee Titans are going to call him up anytime soon there. A little shout out to Sammy and Yellow's favorite team. But you got a little shot in there. Okay. But okay, so is he that first paragraph, if we need to cement our defense, blah blah blah, all this game assignments, is he implying that Demidov isn't very good defensively. That's what he's saying.
That's what I'm getting.
Well, which is, bullshit. Is that
no? You can say it, Grant. This is our show. You can say it.
No, but that's a Russian word, right? Bullshit.
Oh, okay.
Which you can translate to English as something else, right?
Yeah.
There's a very similar word to that in English. Anyway, I think Demidov, I put up a stat the last time has been on the ice for 2 goals against, or 3. He's top 3 on the team in fewest goals against when he's on the ice. So that throws that theory out the window right there, right? That he's somehow, it's because he's not good defensively. It is bullshit.
Yeah.
I'm going to use the English term this time. Now, now he says, many played in the NHL. Well, no.
That's just false.
Let's talk about the forwards, because he's not replacing defensemen, right? So it's the 12 forwards ahead of him. Well, Kuznetsov has not been in the lineup since he's been benched. So you can't even use Kuznetsov. He says they won the Stanley Cup. Unless they is a nickname for Kuznetsov, unless that's his nickname for Kuznetsov, he's the only one that won the Stanley Cup. And it's one. So one guy who's not in the lineup won the Stanley Cup. So that's bullshit. There wasn't a guy in the lineup last game that won a Stanley Cup. No forwards. All right. Now he trains with great players. I don't know what do they bring Igor Larionov and I don't know, Makarov out for practices or something, because I don't know what great players that he trains with. These masters that they're talking about, these masters that he's referring to, other than Kuznetsov, who's not playing, have combined for 26 career NHL goals.
Wow.
These guys that have played in the NHL. I think Demidov may have 26 career NHL goals by the end of next season.
Yeah.
So it's just like that. Just wow. It just made me shake my head. Like, really, masters? Like, I don't know. I guess he's got to say something, but it was a good question. Like, your rising star, like that right off the bat must have got his ire. So he comes out with this, but okay, you can take that down now.
But the kicker for me is when he says it doesn't matter what someone's last name is.
Oh, I know.
Now that is the next level of irony, because that's the only reason he's there.
That's right.
Oh my God.
Son of an oligarch, Gazarpov owns the team. His old man is, rich. He got he's a chairman or whatever because of his old man. Like, it's pure nepotism with him. And he has the nerve to say last name. Like, and also, like, what I'm trying to think of the great Demidovs that.
Right. Yeah.
Because of his last name. What he, in translation, some things can get a little, like tackle, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Something got lost in the translation there. And, saying his last name. And I think maybe what he meant to say was, drafted high in the draft. I don't know. I think maybe Rottenberg thinks that he should have been a high draft pick, because every freaking guy that he's had that was drafted in the top 60, he has treated like bourgeois. So, that got me revved up when I read those quotes, and it's completely ridiculous. And he's just hiding the fact that, it's all political. This guy's leaving in 6 months, so we don't care about him. We don't care. We're going to railroad him, basically, is what, if you want. If you want that truly translated, that's what he said.
Yeah, I don't know anymore. There's no logic behind any of it. None whatsoever. You cannot justify putting your best player on the bench. Before he got 4 minutes ice time, it was 8 points in 10 games as a rookie. Are you kidding me?
Playing 12 minutes a game and very little power play.
No power play. It makes no sense.
And not on the ice for goals against. So
I'm not going to try to understand this because it makes no sense. There's no logic.
Well,
we're just going to let it happen. But
Grigorenko's a master. Tolchinsky's a master.
Right.
He went to the NHL and he scored 2 goals for Carolina in 4 attempts. So he's a master, I guess. How can you argue with that?
Sure. Yeah. But really now, what we should be looking at is what comes next, right? Is he really going to spend the rest of the season in the stands, right? Is there a possibility for him to go in the VHL and play with his brother? Grant, help me out here. What's the move? What's the next move?
The VHL? Yeah, it could be. It's going to be up to Rottenberg, but I think the best thing for all concerned would be to send him to the VHL if this is the plan. If there's 12 masters ahead of him in the lineup, what do you do, right? You gotta stick him on a team with only semi-masters, with the VHL team. But they're a good team. Well, what would you do in Montreal's case if your options were with a young player that you could send him to Laval? You're not playing him. Well, that's what you do, right?
Exactly.
You want your farm team to win, because even though Demidov's not going to be around down the road, there are young players that are in the system that play in the VHL that would benefit from having Demidov there, making them a better team, helping them go on a long playoff run in the VHL. That's going to help develop all their other young players that aren't going to be going over to the NHL or North America. So it doesn't just benefit Demidov. Like some people, like I wrote an article, sickpodcast.com a day or two ago that's up there that you might want to go visit. But his brother, Semyon, had a hat trick earlier this year. He's tied for second in the VHL in goal scoring. So, as far as what would be the best thing for Ivan, I'm sure he wouldn't mind going to play with his older brother, play on his line.
I'm sure he wouldn't mind playing at all.
Right. But he'd get 18 to 20 minutes a game playing with his older brother, playing on a team that he could help probably win a VHL championship or contend for it. Play lots. Gain his confidence against pros, which I think he had already done. But right now it's got to taken a bit of a hit with him sitting on the bench like that. And tear up the VHL and then go on to the NHL after the season. If there's no use keeping him around and just sitting him on the bench, it really doesn't benefit Scott. It doesn't benefit, the organization. The best thing for all concerned, if this is the plan, because there's just way too many masters on the big team, is send him to the VHL.
Well, hopefully that's the case because he needs to play and he needs to come here as soon as possible. My goodness. Please get him out of there. Get him out. All right. Enough with the negativity and that stuff. We'll go to more positive things here, and we're going to get to our Insta Customs Habs Prospect of the Week.
Insta Customs Habs Prospect of the Week.
That's right. That's right. And of course, the Insta Customs Habs Prospect of the Week, that's a mouthful, is brought to you by Insta Customs. All right. Insta Customs, Canada's highest rated custom apparel and drinkware print shop, boasting an impressive 4.9 Google star rating. Whether you need printed or embroidered t-shirts, hoodies, crew necks, hats, and more, they've got you covered. They specialize in emergency rush orders to meet your tight deadlines. While their store is conveniently located on Stanley Street, downtown Montreal, ordering online is easy. Okay, so you order today, it's printed today, and pick up or shipped today. So visit instacustoms.com. All right, Grant. Michael Hage. Michael Hage is our Instacustoms Habs prospect of the week, and he played his first 2 NCAA games. He actually arrived in style here with, I don't know, maybe if this is a Vespa or just a regular scooter, but you knew when he arrived like that, he was going to have himself a game, and that's what he did. 4 points in 2 games. We got some highlights of his assists and his goal. Let's take a look.
Yeah, I don't know if he stole that from Tony or what, but this
we
missed
that. Pass.
He passed it to Hallam there. Just trust me on that. There it is. Nice feed. But he's got Hallam's one of the fastest players in the NCAA, and so is Hage. So they're going to be line mates. Beautiful. What a feed there, right?
My God.
You can just see with the his playmaking ability on these assists. This is another great one. I love how he gets it here. What a feed. Mm-hmm. Just under, can't say enough of just how great a feed that was. But if he plays with
the goal
and then the goal, what a release he has. It's so quick,
That move there.
Yeah, goalie didn't stand a chance. Here it is again. Ding. Looks like you can't even tell that it went in the net. It bounced out so fast and then is at the goalie's pad, Like in that highlight, you can barely tell that it went in the net. And I wish they had the replay from behind the net, because you could see just how quick he brought it up and then to the far corner so quickly.
Yeah,
very few NHL goalies would stop that, let alone college goalies. So, I mean, hey, he gets a point on Michigan's first 4 goals of the season as a freshman.
Yeah,
you know, that's what you want, right? He's playing with Moldenhauer, who is also a former Chicago Steel player, and then Jackson Hallam, who's a real speedster. They're the second line. That's going to be one of the best second lines in college hockey, fair to say. But he on the weekend, he only had 1 shot on goal. Well, he made it count. His shooting percentage so far isn't bad. But funny, he only took 5 faceoffs in the second game. Now, I'm not sure what exactly. I didn't. Unfortunately, the stats are a little sparse on those 2 games, and Instat hasn't put the games up yet. But I don't know what his ice time was in the 2 games. I guess what probably happened was one of his line mates took some draws, because I don't suspect that after getting points on their first 4 goals of the season that the coach pulled a Rottenberg and said, "Oh, we got to bench this guy. We must bench this guy now," because all he do is get points. So we bench. No, I don't think that happened to him. So I'm assuming that a line mate. You don't like my Russian accent, eh? It's just not that good.
Mine's terrible, so I'm not even going to try.
I thought you'd read that. I was hoping you'd read the Rottenberg spiel with a Russian accent.
We're gonna get canceled if we do that.
But the first game, all right, he had the 2 assists, but he was -3 in the game. So I didn't get to see the whole thing, and I will, but there's probably, he's a raw rookie freshman in NCAA. There's going to be some work to do away from the puck, right? On the weekend, like, they lost the first game 5-2, and he was -3, even though he got 2 points. So he's on the ice for at least 3 goals against. So not a perfect weekend, but ended the weekend with a goal, 3 assists, -1, which isn't bad. That's pretty good. 100% shooting percentage, which is really good. But I'd like to see him take more shots. Guy's got a cannon of a shot. So 63% on faceoffs, which 10 for 16 on the draws, which the Habs brass will like that because, hey, the guys that as we've discussed, Newhook and Doc are still trying to become plus 45, 45 plus % on the faceoff. So, yeah, I mean, for your first 2 games in college, to pick up 4 points is outstanding. And we see the offensive ability that he has. And, hey, full marks for him to get. It was an easy call to give him the Insta Customs Habs Prospect of the Week.
Absolutely. And I mean, Habs Twitter was loving this, right? Finally, some good news coming out of a prospect here, Michael Hage, tearing it up, and a lot of people were comparing him, maybe not comparing him, but reminded him of a Jack Eichel light, right? And seeing that move that he does, right? And he did that exact same move at development camp. We saw that exact move. But do you see maybe a little bit of a resemblance there?
Well, he's not nearly as big as Eichel, but
stylistically, maybe, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, similar skating speed and style to a certain degree. Yeah, I don't mind that, but Eichel's a lot bigger. But yeah, I don't mind. Hey, if he turns out to be anywhere close to being as good as Eichel, that works out for a 21st overall pick.
It's a steal. So we'll be keeping tabs on Michael and Michigan University throughout the entire season. But we'll kind of pivot here, but we'll stay in the NCAA. We'll go over to Denver, where maybe a more obscure or forgotten Habs prospect is playing, and he's playing quite well, and that would be Sam Harris. Let's take a look.
Yeah, well, he scored a couple of power play goals in their first game of the year. So again, kick off your season, and he's only a sophomore with 2 power play goals. Here he is at the side of the net. You'll see, gets the rebound. He's got a nose for the net. He's going to be. He parks himself in the crease area. He's a very stocky. He's just a shade under 6 feet, but probably runs over 200 pounds already. He's got a big head and neck. You see you can tell that he's just a naturally thick kid and hard to move. Those guys are hard to move from the crease area, and very good hands, great shot. He's a staple on their first power play, and this is a defending champs, right? So that's impressive for a kid that's only in his second year. I think he's kind of he got the ring. Mm-hmm. I think he's one of the more underrated, underappreciated Habs prospects. But for a guy that was picked in the later rounds, another guy, he had already been passed through 1 draft. I like what I've seen from him. I mean, Buell's back and he looks great. Jack Devine's back. He was like top 3 scorer last year. They're going to be tough to beat again. So your first 2 years in college, you can be, I wouldn't be surprised if they went to the Frozen Four again this year. Harris had 14 goals as a freshman. I think he can score 20 plus. I think he might even be in the top 5 for goal scoring in the NCAA this year. We'll see. But 5 shots on goal. He was around the puck all game. Served notice that he's going to be in the mix to be the goal scoring champ, I think, in college hockey this year or close to it. With such a powerhouse team and guys like Devine feeding them. Devine's a great playmaker. They're loaded for bear. So I think Denver will be tough to beat again this year. Boston College, Boston University, Denver, they could all be back, back in the tournament and have some great games. I think Denver beat Boston U, I believe, last year was it the semis?
Yes, because they played BC in the finals.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So it could be, though, I wouldn't be surprised if it's those three are in the final, the Frozen Four again. They're all
very
stocked.
likely.
And maybe Fowler gets his revenge this time. We'll see. But it should be another fun NCAA season. And I had to give honorable mention to Sam as another college guy. 2 goals. They're playing again today. So, if he can pop a couple more, it's a great start.
Exactly. So Sam Harris looking like a great value pick for the Habs here. He's our honorable Habs prospect of the week. And why not? Let's do another. And we'll go back to Russia here.
Yeah.
For a gentleman by the name of McCagg and Shayne. Let's have a look.
Yeah. Well, he sat out for 2 weeks. Like we thought it was bad with Demidov. He sat in the stands for 2 weeks with Dynamo St. Petersburg, the VHL team. So, I mean, he started the year, I think he played 2 games out of 19 between the junior team and the VHL team. He played 3. So it was time to send him back. But as you can see, look at can you roll that back again? I was too busy talking, but I don't know if you can or not. I'd like to just show that shot. Okay. He had 2 primary assists, and they were nice ones. We'll just describe this. Look at this pass.
Great vision.
Yeah. Just found the seam, got it, made sure the defenseman couldn't get to it. Nice feed on the power play. But this here too, this is like his bread and butter right here. He's got as Danny Gallivan would probably say, a canninating drive. He's I know I said that last year, but I just had to say it again.
All the more relevant now, yeah.
But hey, he's back in junior. Ryabkin is the centerman. You'll notice the guy that won the draw there, Ivan Ryabkin. So, hey, that's the perfect spot for him. Dynamo will be in the hunt if they keep those guys together on their top line. They'll score tons of goals, and they'll be one of the favorites to win the MHL this year. That's the best place for him. Give him one more year. Give him one more year in junior. Put up really good stats, and he will. And next year, move up to VHL or KHL, make the next step. Dynamo's a good, they've got good teams, so there's no shame in spending an extra year in junior in that organization. So I think that's the best place for him. Hopefully he stays there. Way better playing 20 minutes a game, lighten it up in junior than to sit in the stands or play 4 minutes in pro.
Yeah. Well, that's it. That's all we got for today. McCagg, Shayne, Sam Harris, and of course Michael Hage, who is our Insta Customs Habs prospect of the week. We'll be back again Friday for our usual show, covering the future, right? The 2025 draft class, whatever's happening in junior hockey, we're going to be talking about it. And of course, on the weekend, we'll be back for this show, our Habs prospect of the week show. So make sure you subscribe, leave us a comment, leave us a like, let us know what you think. What should I do with Demidov here? What should I do? Let us know. We want to hear your thoughts. So for Grant McCagg, I am producer Shane. This has been another edition of the Sick Podcast Recruits Draftcast. Until next time, take care.
And that's a wrap. Hope you don't miss us too much until next time. Follow the Sick Podcast, Recruits Draftcast on YouTube, Facebook, Google Play, and Apple Podcasts.